Hey, what's up, my construction entrepreneurs? Morning walk, man. Got up, going for a walk before I hit the office. Start this beautiful Monday. All right, so hey, look, on this one here, not sure if everyone is familiar with Katerra. Um, Katerra projects. I was a contractor for Katerra. If you don't know, Katerra recently, I believe they recently filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Their doors were closed when employees came to work, so they're just basically shut down, which is uh, surprising still, and I'll talk about that a little bit too. So, um, so I did work for Katerra, did a lot of apartments. The work I did for them was not their main source of work that they do or technology that they were trying to accomplish. The work I did for them were apartment remodeling. Now, what was great about this apartment remodeling work that I did for them is that a lot of the products that we were installing were their products that they actually made, and it was similar to other type of, you know, um, household products, faucets, sinks. You know, they mimic some type of brand. You know, um, it's like a knockoff of those brands. Some of the and by the way, I did videos. You guys see me in videos um, where I was at an apartment building, which I probably, man, that the for Katerra was working for Katerra's was good and bad, and we're gonna talk about this. But I probably was doing like, I would say 10 to 18,000 a month with Katerra, and it was uh, it was good while it was good. Then it got bad. Then it got nasty, and let's get back to their products. So some of their products were good, um, or just good because of the material, like a sink. It wasn't like a cheap sink. It was like a regular sink. But there were some products that just was not good, very cheap, and probably wouldn't be good for the apartment industry. Or a rental or a renter type product. Something that you want something more durable and cost wise. Keep the price in mind. Um, but some products we installed of other brands, and I don't know why. I don't know why that deal was made. Some apartments it was more Katerra, some apartments it was less Katerra. Um, but they always had some type of Katerra on there, and I thought it was a great idea because I always thought it was a great idea because you are hold up here because if you're installing your products, when those products need to be replaced, who are they going to come to? Well, they're going to come to the company that's manufacturing the product, right? So it's like you. I thought it was just you're creating your own ecosystem. Now we go back to the beginning of me working with Katerra. I found out about Katerra from a buddy of mine. Okay, Mario. Used to have a business with Mario years ago. Uh, um, Mario's a hustler. Well, Mario was doing this work for Katerra. I didn't know, but he used to talk about the work all the time. Say, hey, it's plenty of work. Pricing's not right, but I'm doing it. I'm making it work. Have a little communication issues here and there. It's like, oh, okay, all right, man, no problem. I go do my thing, go do this thing. We catch back up. Man, I think you worked for Katerra. I want to say maybe a year. Maybe a year. So, um, he had a falling out with Katerra behind communication, something like that. Went to go paint the doors, the wrong color, wrong sheen, and they made him redo doors. I think it was like, a whole floor of doors. It wasn't just like one or two doors. It was quite a bit. So they fell out, and then he calls me and says, "Hey, they're looking for a contractor to do work for them in San Diego." I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll I'll hit them up." I think it was they had a project in San Diego and another one in Rialto, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's great." So I call him up. The guy at the time, his name was John. He was in charge of the construction. They since on moved John somewhere else, and John was a part of the original company. And I'll talk about companies here in a minute. But I called them up, and um, they were like, "Hey man, yeah, we do need help. We need contractors." So I go look at the job, and they send me a price, this price sheet, and the price sheet was it was a little bit similar to like the estimating or price breakdown I used to do for the utilities companies. I used to do contracting work for the utilities companies, but it wasn't quite adding up. So it took a long time for me to do work for them, right? Now, the people I met initially for Katerra, John and those crew, they work for a company by the name of United Renovations. I don't know if some of you guys remember them. They were the same work we was doing for I was doing for Katerra is the work that United Renovations was doing. They created a system to where they were doing apartment remodeling across the United States. So Katerra bought them out. Now Katerra brought out a range of other companies to expand, right? Because Katerra wanted to bring technology to the construction industry, which we are terribly behind on, right? So they were creating a lot of automated systems, a lot of warehouse, factory type made systems like uh, uh, panels already designed, just building faster and doing everything in house. A true turnkey company, right? When we talk about turnkey right now, we talk about turnkey process, right? Where we're turnkey, when we can turnkey a project, but we're talking about process turnkey. There, Katerra, they were doing true turnkey to where not only were they making the products, they were also installing the products, right? So they were this is true turnkey. When you design it, right? You design it, you spec it, you make the products, and you install it. No matter what it is, that's what their goal was, right? Now, as they were buying up these companies within these industries, I mean, they bought architect companies, uh, engineering companies, they bought construction companies. I mean, I was looking it up last night on how many companies did they truly buy, and it was a lot. It was a lot, man. So they basically was trying to expand fast. So United Renovations was doing a bunch of apartments, and I met the key players for United Renovations. I met them. They were out of Texas, where Katerra headquarters was at, and hit it off with one of the owners of United Renovations. Now he was on with Katerra for a certain period of time. He's probably glad he's not on anymore right now. But he had to deal with a lot of politics, and Katerra was supposed to go public. So he was also now, he got paid pretty good for his split net. But um, Katerra was supposed to file, they gave him stock, you know. He was supposed to get stock when Katerra um, um, was going to go public. That was part of the deal. So now, I don't know what he's going to get now, you know, because they're for Chapter 11. He might be included in that, right? Anyway, so I thought the concept was great. They had a bunch of projects they wanted me to do. It took probably a good year and a half for me to even do a project with them from the first time I met them. And the reason why is because the pricing wasn't right. That's why the pricing wasn't right. I go look at these projects, and I was so excited to do work for them. Like, I terribly wanted to do work for them. It was I wanted to do work for them pretty bad, to where I was trying to make the numbers work. I was trying to do my best, but I go to my partners at that time. I had a more of a remodeling company. I go to my partners, they're like, it's not working. They was like, all right, well, we can't do it, man. You said it's not working, throw it back at them. So I go through these spreadsheets, and they'll have all this stuff out, and it was a little bit different because it was based on really volume, you know. Money still had to be good, but the volume had to be there to really make something work. Doing, you know, 1 or 2 apartments at a time was not feasible. You had to do at least, you know, 4 to 6 apartments at a time, and multiple of those batches a month. So you can do 10 apartments a month, and that's good. That can keep probably a 3-man crew busy, depending on how much work needs to be done. You know, a 2-man crew can even stay busy with that, as long as you train them. Because after a while, you got to realize repetition, right? Everyone gets faster after they're doing the same thing over and over. You know, putting in finished products, repairs. You know, you start to get used to what the layout of a 2-bedroom, layout of the 1-bedroom, layout of the, you know, the 1-bedroom with an extra bathroom, whatever it is. And you work out a system, and you get faster and faster. And I had to learn how to price jobs like that with the volume, and to make sure that we make a profit. And when I first did it, the price was right, man. I probably did, I want to say, man, maybe 8 different apartments for Katerra. Probably 8. Kind of dealt with the same people in the area, which was okay, but communication was terribly bad there. It was bad. Communication was bad there. And you know, during that time, I still had a little, you say something wrong to me, and I will let you have it. Yeah, I will let you have it. So definitely, as I did more and more work for them, it was come on, let's turn around. As I did more and more work for them, it was it started to get a little, like, things were not clear. Um, Maybe things were half done, paperwork wasn't clear. So I kind of, you know, still was rolling there because the money was good. It kept like 2 people busy, sometimes 3 people. So I had a nice little crew. Sometimes I had to work, you know, but overall, kept some people busy. Well, there was a point in time where a buddy of mine was starting up his business, and I went and joined him. So there was this new partnership. So the current company I was doing the work with, good morning. I I was stopping that company from doing that work and moving that work to the new company, and was which I still own a piece of right now. So I was moving it over there. So I talked to all the people on the ground, like the superintendents, the whatever they call them, project managers. I don't know. Those are just titles. So talked to all of them, explained to them what was going on. I actually had to qualify this time. When I first started doing work for them and I signed up, I didn't have to qualify. I just sent them my additionally endorsed. I had to additionally endorse. I had to endorse them on all my insurance, and that was really it. Now I had like a 3-pager I signed, I think it was. Start doing work for them. This time, years later, they had a verification app / company in place, trade app, I think it was. So I had to submit all my financials and history and safety, and it was kind of weird because the company I was participating in at that time was starting back up, so a lot of data wasn't there. But anyway, I made it work, get approval, and then now I started coordinating. Okay, when's the last apartment going to be done with this company and start with this company, right? And then also too, the guys I had working there, some of them were on didn't pay cash, so they were fully going to payroll, right, to paycheck. So I had that worked out too. So everything had to work out, right? So talked to everyone, discussed it, talking to people back in the corporate office in Texas, work out that, get approval. Okay, so we're going to stop here and start here, right? So now the project manager is supposed to do my agreement. And dude, I got a video of this too, where I don't know if I'm using Katerra's name. I'm pretty sure I am, because they pissed me off pretty bad. But talked to one of the project managers. She's supposed to write up my agreement. Now my agreement covers how many apartments I have, really. I think at this one place I had like maybe 75 apartments left, right? 75 apartments left, and there was more to come, right? So he's like, okay, hey, so now I already started. I stopped on this one, start on this next one, right? I even got paid for the apartments I finished too, as well, with the other company. Now my guys are just working, and payday is coming up. Now this guy still hasn't done my agreement. So there's been some missed meetings, and just a lot of phone tag and hit and miss. And finally I told the guy, I was like, hey man, it's coming up where I need to do we already finished the apartments underneath the new company, Rise Construction. I was like, hey man, I need to do invoicing. You gotta get me a agreement. He was like, okay, I'll get it to you. It was getting closer and closer to my invoice date. So I called the guy, I said, hey, listen man, there's no more time to wait. He was like, hey Tyrone, I'm not gonna do it. I was like, so I'm operating as a separate company on the property, right? I was like, what do you mean you're not gonna do it? I was like, hey, how about this? I'll work this out with you, man. Just because I still have ownership in both companies, how about this? Just do a joint check. So you're writing a check to MW, and then just have two names on it, have Rise Construction on there. Do joint checks. Do it all the time in the commercial world, right? And that's how you make sure that the lower tier subs get paid. This is what you do. You do a joint check, and one endorses the check and then gives it to the other one. So just do a joint check. He said, okay, I think we can do that. I said, hey, so I didn't trust him. I was like, hey, have someone from accounting tell me that you guys do this. So accounting went back and forth, and they didn't really do it at all. So I had to explain to them what it was, sent them example of joint checks, how they wrote out. And they say, yeah. So a few days passed. I didn't see any more paperwork come through on that. I was like, you know what? Jay, man, we got to really work something out, narrow it down. Jay was just like, hey, man, I'm not going to do it. I was like, this is a project manager telling me this, some field guy, right? I was like, what do you mean you're not going to do it, man? Like, at all? He's like, yeah, at all. I was like, no, man. I was like, obviously, if you're talking to me like this, I guess your boss is in on it too, right? Because that'll be the next thing I'll say, right, Jay, is, hey, I'm going to go to your boss. He was like, yeah, my bosses already know. You can call him all you want. He was like, I'll give you his number. I was like, dude, you don't want to start no mess with me, man. You really don't, man. Don't do that, dude. He was like, Tyrone, I don't care, man. Like I said, it's not happening. I said, Jay, you realize I got email correspondence of us talking about this, and you say you doing it getting approved. I go through a trade. You say you realize all that? Yeah, I don't care. It's like, all right. He was like, you want my boss number? Good morning. You want my boss number? I was like, no, your boss is not the one. No, I'm about to go above your boss. He was like, nah, I don't care. Go ahead. So, I couldn't believe it. So basically, he was basically telling me, he wasn't telling me that he wasn't going to pay me, but he was telling me that, hey, you need to get paid under the original company and not the new company. So AMW and not Rise. I'm like, damn it. So I sent an email off to his boss, which is the guy that was in on it, and his name was Daniel. He was a straight a-hole. I heard about him being an a-hole. I didn't really have much interaction with him. He never came out to any of the jobs. It would have been good to start a relationship with him, but they were not doing that. So Daniel responds to me, we'll take care of it, this and that. And basically Daniel shines me off, right? But I'm like, I'm already working on the next set of units now. I haven't even filed for an invoice for the first set. So I am pissed at this point. So I sent Daniel a nasty email, basically giving him a timeline, giving them like 3 days to come up with my agreement so I can get paid and this and that. I think he responds with some generic something. So what I did after that was I already knew the way their email format was formulated, right? So everyone has a certain way their emails, especially larger companies, every email address is the same. As long as one person send your email, 2 or 3 persons send your email, you'll see first name, period, last name, at whatever their email address is, right? Some of them are first initials, last name, at whatever it is. So once you figure out what the format is, I went to the website, and usually large companies have key personnel on the website, and they have their name. And went on Katerra's and found everyone, all these key personnels in all these different countries, man. Even the owner, Mark something, forget his name. So what I did was I made emails for all those because they had their first and last name there. They didn't have the email address there, but I knew how the email was set up. So I had them all in the emails, and I wrote this nasty letter. Basically, well, I just laid everything out. What the progress is. I took screenshots and add them as attachments and in the body of the email of all the communication with Jay, communication with Daniel. Oh man, dude, I sent that email off. Within 3 minutes, I got 3 phone calls, right? One of them was Daniel. Another one was another guy out of Texas, a compliance guy or something. He was pretty cool, but he was like, man, and I knew him from jobs before too. He was like, man, I can't believe that you're doing this like this, man. And he was telling me he don't even get along with Daniel, right? And so everyone is like, oh man, well, I mean, it's pretty bad. It was bad. So Daniel calls me, apologizes to me, and basically asks me like, hey, can you keep everyone out the email? Can you not? He straight out asked me. He was like, can you not email everybody? Just email me and I'll take care of it. So I told him, I was like, hey man, so it's sad I had to resort to that because I didn't have any other recourse. Like, that was my only option to get you to move. So until you pay me, I am including everyone in the email because I don't trust you anymore, Daniel. You know, you screwed me over, you're talking mess about me, and then you're not trying to pay me. No, I'm gonna get you paid. This kind of misunderstanding, I'm busy, this and that. I said, hey man, hey, listen, I don't care what type of busy you are, I have to be paid. When you tell me that you're busy and I'm not paid, it just tells me that I'm not on your priority list. And that's where I need to be at. I need to be on your priority list. So I did. So, and then I sent off another email after we talked. He was like, man, just don't do. So I sent off another one, basically going over our conversation so we're clear. Like, I was just updating everyone, hey, just got off the phone with Daniel. This is what we worked out. I'm glad he called me. I just laid it out. Hey, this is what I should be expecting. And listen to this. Not only, hold on, let's fire truck. So, so not only did hold on here. So not only did I have the bigwigs email address in there, I also had people in the office email address in there. So like people I was working with trying to get the company approval, like office staff, and so I include them in there too. There's like 9 people out of office I included in there. That was just regular accountants and HR and all that. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to create a buzz talk in the office. Like, oh, did you hear about that company out of California that they're not paying? And he's emailing Michael Marks, the owner, and all this. And anyway, so things started moving double time to try to get me paid. Jay calls me, right? He didn't apologize to me, but he was just saying, hey man, they're telling me I need to give you your agreement. And I didn't really get on him or nothing like that, like I told you, or I knew this was coming back. He definitely didn't apologize. He got my agreement. I read over it. It was good, same as the other one, and signed it, and then submitted my invoicing. And then they had some issues with screw up with my extra work. I was able to get that. I think I had to do another email because Daniel was like, no, we're not paying them. Everyone's like, I didn't approve it. I had emails for that too. Dude, so after that, the relationship was toast. Done. They were not screwing up. They didn't send me not near another job. And they needed my help on a few jobs. Now, the work I was doing for them, remember, wasn't where they were trying to get to with the overall goal, right? Bringing automated technology to the construction industry. That was just a small piece of it. Now, mind you, I was trying to get to more a national, right? I wanted to work in all the United States with Katerra. I wasn't able to reach up to that level because it was very hard to find contacts in different areas. I was almost doing a job in up north in Fresno. That almost happened. I almost got a job up north in Fresno. I drove up there. I think I even did a video on that too. I mean, it was a bunch of projects, you know, pool deck projects in Long Beach. I did a lot of work for Katerra, tons of work. You know, the apartments were the greatest but those other projects, little one-offs here and there that was able to meet different people in different areas, and I was moving up. But then when I got into it with the main guy of the Western States, the guy Daniel, he just put me on the blacklist, and I didn't get a call, nothing from them anymore. But now they're out of business. And that just shows, like, I was, I didn't have some stressful days behind that, man. And here it is, you're stressed about a company that's going out of business. It says a lot. Like, a lot of times we be trying to meet other people prices and trying to, do what they're doing, or we think, from the outside it looks good. We're like, oh, I need to have something set up like that, and you're following behind them, or you want to do work with them, and they're in the midst of going out of business. That's why it's it's important to, one, a lot of times we just got to follow our gut. Our gut tell us so much, so much. And sometimes we just got to follow it, like our intuition, and sometimes you just got to follow it and just go forward. But sometimes you just don't know until you know. But it's just to say that sometimes you see companies from the outside, looks good, performance is going, and they could be going through some internal stuff that you don't even know about, and to tell you that you should not be following them. It's crazy. I didn't talk about any of the miscommunication. They weren't organized. The reason why I didn't talk about any of that, because all of us have that. Sometimes we shine, sometimes we don't. Most of us have the miscommunication. All our communication is not up to par. So they had a lot of that going on, but all of us have it going on. Coordinating, they had errors there, but we all screw up with that. Materials, delivery, some of that stuff is out of our control. So I didn't deal with a lot of the large miscommunication outside of the norm. Screwed me up. When you cost me money, that's when it's a problem. See, when communication, there's two ways. When you screw up on the communication and it costs me money, it's different when I screw up on the communication and it costs me money. You deal with those two things differently. So anyway, that's my little rant about Katerra. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it was interesting. But I wanted to get that off because I can't believe that Katerra's out of business. I really can't. Oh, look at this. So this is crazy. That project that I recently showed you guys where before they broke ground with that CSI company, that was a Katerra project where they did all the architectural, they did the design, the engineering, and I called the company, was like, hey, and it was like not too far from my house in Marietta. And so they broke ground on that. Katerra, man, I don't know what they're doing when Katerra was like the head of that for their client. That is crazy. What do they do with existing jobs? Who takes them over? How do I put myself in a position to take over their job? I don't know. Anyway, so interesting. So hey, my construction entrepreneurs, hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully there was some learning points there. And I must say, hey, gotta go. Hit you up later to the next one. Hustle hard, then hustle harder. Catch you on the next one.